how I did in week 16. Now, it wasn't a very good week, it has to be said. So, we'll hopefully be a better week this week. So, the last games I had, so obviously I said Chelsea to beat Everton 2-0. That finished 3-1 to Everton, so that was wrong. Bournemouth Liverpool went for a 3-0 win to Liverpool, that finished 3-0. Tottenham Burnley went for a 2-0 win to Tottenham, that finished 5-0 to Tottenham. Watford Crystal Palace, I went for a 2-1 win to Palace, that finished 0-0. Manchester City against Manchester United, I went for a 2-1 win to City, it finished 2-1 to United. Aston Villa Leicester City, I went for a 2-1 win to Leicester City, that finished 4-1 to Leicester City. Newcastle United against Southampton, I went for a 1-1 draw in that one, that finished 2-1 to Newcastle United. Norwich City against Sheffield United, I went for a 1-1 draw in that one, that finished 2-1. Brighton against Wolves, I went for a 2-1 win to Wolves, that finished 2-2. And finally, I went for a 2-1 win to West Ham, and it finished 3-1 to Arsenal. So, hopefully, for a better week this week. So, the fixtures that we have are as follows. We have Liverpool against Watford, Burnley against Newcastle United, Chelsea against Bournemouth, Leicester City against Norwich City, Sheffield United against Aston Villa, Southampton against West Ham, Manchester United against Everton, Wolves against Tottenham, Arsenal against Man City, and Crystal Palace against Brighton. Hello, Liz. Hello. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed the game last night. Very good win for Liverpool, like I said. Very good win. Very good win indeed. And we start things off with Liverpool against Watford. Now, the last 5 games between these sides have resulted in 4 wins to Liverpool and 1 draw, and the last result was a 5-0 win to Liverpool. In fact, Watford's last 3 trips to Anfield have resulted in Liverpool 5, Watford 0, Liverpool 5, Watford 0, Liverpool 6, Watford 1. So 16 goals conceded, 1 scored. They do not like going to Anfield, and especially they do not like facing Mr. Mohamed Salah, who absolutely loves a goal against Watford. Coming off the back of a 3-0 win over Bournemouth, and to be honest, it was probably the most easiest afternoon at the office for Liverpool, it has to be said. Bournemouth, I know they're going in a wee sticky spell at the moment, but you know, Liverpool, you've got to beat those in front of you, and it was another tricky test, but they came out with that flying colours, and it was a very good win for Liverpool. Obviously, Keita, Oxlade, Chamberlain, fantastic in that game, and Alisson Becker could have easily had a dressing gown, slippers, and a pipe. It was that easy a day at the office. Watford, obviously a 0-0 draw with Crystal Palace in the last game, and obviously they are now under the stewardship of Nigel Pearson. Who would have predicted that? But Nigel Pearson is back. Obviously, we all know about that. We all know about him calling a journalist an ostrich. So welcome him back into the Premier League. Do you think Klopp may rest some players for Watford? No, I don't actually. I think he'll go all guns blazing. I think he'll want to go out. Obviously, of the Premier League. This is Liverpool's last Premier League game, obviously, until they go to the Club World Cup. And obviously Aston Villa midweek as well. I think he would want to go out all guns blazing. I know Lovren came off injured last night, but Gomez can come in and do a good job there. So, I think it should be a pretty. I think we'll probably. I don't think we'll rest players. I think we'll be able to probably get players fit and raring to go. So no, I think we'll be full strength. In all honesty. So, because I've said that Watford have not had a very good record at Anfield in the last 3 games, they've obviously conceded 16 and scored 1. I'm actually thinking that Liverpool can win this one, and I'm going to go for a very comfortable. I'm going for another 5-0. I actually think Liverpool will go into the Saturday lunchtime, and I think they could probably dominate and probably get a few goals past this poor Watford side. Obviously, it's first against 20th in the Premier League. So there's no doubt about that. So Liverpool 5, Watford 0. Hello, Carl. Hello, that United family. Hope you guys are all right. And yeah, obviously with last night, obviously Inter Milan going into the Europa League as well. So big things. So yeah, I'm going for Liverpool 5, Watford 0 in this one. Burnley against Newcastle United is the next one to preview, and the last 5 between these sides have resulted in 2 wins to Newcastle United, 1 win to Burnley, and 2 draws. And the last result was a 2-1 win to Newcastle United. Burnley are on the run of 3 straight defeats in a row. Okay, albeit they were to Manchester City, but obviously Tottenham in the last game 5-0. 5-0 they lost at the weekend. Yeah, they're on a very sticky run at the moment, and it'll be very, very interesting to see how they can bounce back from this game, I think. Because against Tottenham, they were blown away by Tottenham, and it was a very, very good performance from Tottenham in that aspect. Newcastle United, what's happened to Newcastle United? Yeah, 2 straight wins, and probably against teams you wouldn't have predicted they would probably beat. Obviously, they beat Sheffield United away, and then they beat Southampton, who again were on a pretty good run. So, with that being said, I think that this has got draw written all over it. I can't really separate these two. I know Burnley are on a wee bit of a poor run. Newcastle, not great away, but obviously they did win their last away game. So I think I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between Burnley and Newcastle United. So we'll see what happens with that one. But that is what I think will happen in that one. Chelsea against struggling Bournemouth now we have. And the last 5 between these sides have resulted in 3 wins to Chelsea, 2 wins to Bournemouth. And the last result was a 2-0 win to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. But obviously the reverse fixture, Bournemouth beat them 4-0 at the Vitality last season. So very, very interesting indeed. Chelsea safely through to the next round of the Champions League. They're through to the last 16. They got through a group that had Ajax and Valencia in it. Who would have predicted them that they would have probably gone through in that group? But credit to Chelsea. They did it. However, they did go to Everton and really, really badly lost 3-1. Defensively, an absolute shambles again. And Kepa didn't really help himself when he played the ball straight to Walcott and it went straight to Calvert-Lewin. Obviously that finished 3-1. Go Bournemouth, Liz. Yeah, absolutely. But they are on a run of 1 win in 11 games, so it's a very, very hard game. Wheels coming off at Chelsea. Possibly. When you think that Chelsea were obviously 11 points clear of Manchester United, and now they're only 5 clear of Manchester United. So be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Chelsea, like I've said, they are safely through to the next round of the Champions League. And to be honest, they were very, very good last night against Lille. Had to ride their luck, has to be said. But they'll be wanting to definitely bounce back against Bournemouth. Bournemouth, as I've said, they're on a run of 1 win in 11 games, and especially the win was against Manchester United. That was their last win, and they've not won ever since. So it is a bit of a concern. They are definitely in a relegation battle. It's probably Eddie Howe's biggest challenge as a manager to date, I would say. So I think because of Bournemouth's real struggles at the moment, I can only really see Chelsea winning this one. I think Chelsea will win pretty comfortably, in all honesty. Going for Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 0. So we'll see what happens. Hello, Mr. Exclusive. I hope you're doing okay. Obviously, you and Carl are my mods, so I feel privileged to give you my moderators for them. But yeah, I can make more mods anyway. Got most of their squad out. Bournemouth. It's tough. Yeah, that's the main thing. I mean, there were injuries to Nathan Ake, Callum Wilson. Not ideal when you're Bournemouth, and you're going to Chelsea, who have obviously got Tammy Abraham on form, Pulisic on form. So you've got some good players at Chelsea, and yeah, it is going to be a very, very tricky task for Bournemouth. But they have won there before, and obviously we'll see what happens, but I can't really see anything other than a 2-0 Chelsea win in that one. Now we've got Leicester City against Norwich City, and there's been only 4 meetings in the Premier League era, and there's been 3 wins to Leicester and 1 win to Norwich City, and the last result was a 1-0 win to Leicester City. This was obviously in Leicester City's title-winning season, where actually, interestingly enough, Norwich did very, very well to push Leicester all the way. I think it was an Ajoa goal in the 90th minute that actually won that game the last time. But this Leicester City side is a really, really different animal. They were excellent against Aston Villa. Really, really excellent. They seem to be spreading the goals out. I know that Jamie Vardy has been getting the majority of them, but you're getting Kelechi Iheanacho. Scoring, and then obviously you've got Johnny Evans scoring. I mean, if Johnny Evans doesn't get that header, then obviously Kaglar Siyunku definitely gets the goal in that one. So you have to say, I think it's going to be a very, very interesting game, this one. But a 4-1 win over Aston Villa, very, very comfortable in the end. And Jamie Vardy, he's on absolute fire right now. Even people are asking, should he be back in the England setup? I honestly think now that he is probably in the he is 32, 33, sort of closing in that year. So I don't know if he will go to. I don't think he wants to go to the England setup again. And I think he's got less games to worry about as well. So I think that's something else. Norwich City struggling, really, really struggling. Another defeat to Sheffield United. Obviously, they went 1-0 up, but completely after that, Sheffield United, got back into the game and won very, very easily after that. Obviously, you can say that the red card decision to Basham, obviously that could obviously that was overruled by VAR. That didn't bear any effect. They did have their chances though, but they are really struggling, and they are running out of time to get wins, I think. But it is very, very tight down there, like I've said. Obviously, Watford bottom, Norwich 19th, and it's Southampton in 18th at the moment. Obviously, with Everton winning against Chelsea, so it's going to be interesting that bottom 3. So for this game, I can only really see Leicester City continuing their win. Sorry, Liz, I know we want Norwich to win. Actually, Boya's not here, so he won't forgive me for that. But I'm going to say 3-0 win to Leicester City. I just cannot see Norwich causing any problems to this Leicester City side, and I think they'll continue to put on the pressure for Liverpool, considering that Leicester City's next 2 games are Manchester City and Liverpool back to back. So that's going to be a very, very interesting to see what will happen there, and then obviously we'll see what happens. I just want them to take points from Leicester City. Any team actually. Well, Man City next week at the Etihad. That's their biggest test for sure, and then obviously they have us on Boxing Day, so we'll see for that one. But for me, I think Leicester City will win that one 3-0. Now we've got the battle of the 2 promoted clubs now at Bramall Lane. It is Sheffield United against Aston Villa, and the last 5 meetings between the sides have resulted in 4 wins to Aston Villa and a draw. That's very interesting, considering that Sheffield United got a really good home record this season, and the last result was a 2-2 draw between Sheffield United and Aston Villa, but this was a way back in 2006-2007, so there we go. Sheffield United, a very good win against Norwich, and it has to be said that they were very, very good in the end. Enda Stevens as well, Baldock as well scoring. They have got really, really good players, Sheffield United, and they're doing really, 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 really well. I think they're doing as well as many people would have predicted. Me, I had them 18th. I mean, but that's the thing. That's the thing. I will do a video on my when obviously we get to the 19th Premier League game. I will definitely go with how I'm doing so far. Hey Scotty, how you doing? Good to see you in here. Sheffield United, my pick. Yeah, I think I'm just coming to that. But for me, Sheffield United are fantastic, really, really good, very, very good at home, very, very tricky to beat. They're still unbeaten away from home, which is amazing. Amazing when you think that they're unbeaten since January away from home. So, got some big tests coming up, but Sheffield United, to be where they are at the moment, is excellent. So they'll be very, very happy with that. Aston Villa, obviously coming off the back of a 4-1 defeat to Leicester City. One of the things that comes in that game, though, how on earth did Matt Targett not get a red card for his bad challenge on Ricardo Pereira? I mean, that was a potential leg breaker, that one. And then obviously the Aston Villa goal against Leicester City was obviously given, but again VAR decided to give that, but there were about 2 players offside, and that should have been disallowed in my opinion, but we'll see. So for the battle of the promoted teams, I am going to go for a Sheffield United win. I think Sheffield United will continue their very, very good form. I know they lost the last time at home, but I'm going to say that Sheffield United will win this one. Sheffield United 2, Aston Villa 1. So we'll see what happens in that one. Southampton against West Ham now. And the last 5 results have resulted in 1 win to Southampton and 4 wins to West Ham United. And the last result was a 2-1 win to West Ham. So basically a Celtic goal for Villa. Yeah. I mean, there were a few players offside for that goal, and it should have been disallowed. So yes, I would agree with you, Scotty, definitely. 2 teams really struggling for form. Obviously, Southampton did pick up a little bit with obviously back-to-back wins against Watford and Norwich, but obviously going to Newcastle and losing 2-1 wasn't very, very good. Coming back in front of their home fans, they will be determined to bounce back. Danny Ings is on absolute fire right now. Seems to be scoring a lot of goals at the moment, and it's really, really good to see him on the scoring sheet as well. West Ham, oh dear. This is another team that's really, really struggling. There's been lots of talk that Pellegrini is to be removed from his position as West Ham manager. If West Ham lose this one, I think he is gone as far as I'm concerned. I think he had a bit of stave execution with that win at Chelsea, and then obviously losing to Wolves, that was a poor performance. And then Monday night, I mean, this is the frustrating thing about West Ham, is that they played very well in the first half against Arsenal, took the lead 1-0 up in the second half, and then Arsenal came back all guns blazing in the second half. And do you know what? It is going to be a very, very tall order for West Ham, and people say you're not too good to go down, and West Ham have been down for a moment. So Danny Ings is playing great. West Ham is a mess. Yeah, West Ham are in a complete mess. I feel for them because West Ham are one of those big London clubs that I think everyone has probably a soft spot for West Ham. But obviously there's been a few Liverpool players have played for West Ham as well. So, I do have a soft spot for West Ham. So I really hope they're not going to go down. But at this moment in time, if you keep Pellegrini in charge, who knows? So with that being said, I think Southampton will pile on the misery for West Ham, and I think this could well be Manuel Pellegrini's last game in charge of West Ham. I'm going for Southampton 2, West Ham 0. So that'd be their first victory in 4 meetings with West Ham. Now we move to the Sunday games, and the first of those is Manchester United against Everton. And the last 5 results have resulted in 3 wins to Manchester United, 1 draw and 1 win to Everton. And the last result was a 2-1 win to Manchester United. But obviously over on the flip side, Everton won 4-0. But then again, this is a different Manchester United team at this time around. Manchester United, all I have to say was an absolute brilliant display against Manchester City. Absolutely brilliant. From start to finish, they did what they needed to do, and do you know what? They played brilliantly. Martial, Rashford, James, constant menace. I think James sent Angelino back to Spain. He was absolutely outstanding, Daniel James. Martial, Rashford, brilliant. Wan-Bissaka as well. He was immense. Really, really good. Really, really good. And you know what? Manchester United, if people would have said that they would have beaten Tottenham and Manchester City in the same week, I think people would have laughed at you. But the fact is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got those 2 wins. Can they now go on a very consistent run? That is the main thing. 3-0 Liverpool Watford. We'll see. We'll see. I've gone 5-0 Scotty, so we'll see. 6-0. Is that for Manchester United, Carl? Is that for Manchester United? Everton, obviously they're coming off the back of a 3-1 win over Chelsea. Carlo Ancelotti. Yeah, what does everyone make of the Carlo Ancelotti sacking? Because he is now due for talks with Everton. So is he going to Everton? That will be interesting to see. But they were excellent against Chelsea, obviously from start to finish. Duncan Ferguson obviously in charge. He probably will be in charge for the Blues at Old Trafford. And it's all about getting those games now under the belt for him. I think he's going to be a very, very very, very interesting game, because obviously this is a Super Sunday game, for sure. Everton will fight hard against United. Yeah, I think they'll give Manchester United a really, really hard game. However, having said that, it is at Old Trafford. If it was at Goodison, then I would probably predicted an Everton win. But because it's at Old Trafford, I cannot see past Manchester United. I think they'll continue their very, very good run recently. I'm going for Manchester United 3, Everton 1. I do think Everton will get a goal because Manchester United have not kept a clean sheet for a wee while. So I think that Manchester United will win 3-1 against Everton. Now, the next game, which is not on Super Sunday, I'm pretty surprised to say, is Wolves against Tottenham, and this is got the makings of a very, very good game for sure. Tottenham Hotspur, the last 5 between Wolves and Tottenham have resulted in 2 wins to Tottenham, 2 draws, and 1 win to Wolves, and the last result was a 3-2 win to Tottenham. Little arms to concede. or T-Rex arms as a certain Mr. Holden puts it. Yeah, he's I honestly I don't get why Pickford is still the England goalkeeper. Honestly, I do not get that. So, Wolves against Tottenham. Wolves involved in a bit of a topsy-turvy game, it has to be said, against Brighton. Yeah, unbelievable. To be 1-0 up and then obviously to be 2-1 down and then obviously going at half-time 2-2. Yeah, Wolves are really, really difficult to beat. And, obviously they are going to Bratislava this Thursday, already through, so they can definitely rest a few players. And obviously they're coming up against the Tottenham side, 5-0 winners against Burnley, and obviously they can rest players again against Bayern Munich as well. So that's one thing you can definitely say, is that they can rest players against Bayern. So these two teams will be probably fresh, and I'm looking forward to this game. Despite it not being on TV, I think it's going to be a really, really good game, and I think it's going to be a very, very good game, this one. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw between Wolves and Tottenham. I do think it'll be a very, very close game. I'm going for a 2-2 draw against Wolves and Tottenham. Hi everyone, I'm sure some will remember me from Anfield Agenda. Hey Mossy! Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I do remember you from Anfield Agenda, for sure. Wolves can beat Spurs. Yes, they can. But I do think that Tottenham are in good form at the moment. Do seem to be conceding a lot of goals under Jose Mourinho, though. It has to be said. They do seem to be conceding a lot of goals at the moment. So, it'll be very, very interesting to see. But I'm going to go for a 2-2. Hey Doug. Oh, hey Willow. Hey Willow. Hope you're doing well. So the next game. And this is a really big game if you consider all things being said. Arsenal against Manchester City. What a game this is going to be. The last 5 between these sides have resulted in 4 wins to Man City and 1 draw between the sides, and their last result was a 2-0 win to Manchester City. But obviously Arsenal are coming off the back of a win, finally. First win in 9, obviously winning against West Ham, very, very good. Martinelli starting and scoring again. You know, he's been involved in brilliant goals, really, and he's been excellent. He really, really has. Seems to be doing well in the Europa League as well. So will he now start games? Be very, very interesting to see. Obviously, Arsenal are coming off the back of a win against West Ham, and to be honest, that second half performance, they were much, much better. First half, not great, but second half, much, much better. And obviously, Nicolas Pepe has got a goal as well, so that's good to see as well. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see if they can follow this up. But obviously, they're coming against a wounded animal in Manchester City. Obviously, they go to Zagreb tonight. They can rest players for sure. I'm not so certain Arsenal can rest players for Liège, although they will need a monumental collapse for them to not go through. I think they will go through, but they will want to win the group. So I don't think they'll be resting any players in that game against Liège. But this is the thing, Man City can rest players against Zagreb tonight. Manchester City coming off the back of the derby defeat to United. And in all honesty, Pep Guardiola did not have an answer. And this is the thing now. He's facing his most challenging time now as a manager. This is the lowest points total he has ever taken in his managerial career at this stage of the season. So it's a very, very interesting game. And obviously, soon as Laporte's back, as soon as Sané's back, they will probably be a big and better team. But the worst thing about it is, defensively, they're an absolute shambles at the moment. And obviously, you know, obviously Otamendi gets the goal. So it's going to be very, very interesting. And is Pep now running out of time as Man City manager? Who knows? Who knows? I don't think he'll be there by the start of next season. I honestly don't. Pep seems to be losing his mind. Yeah, he does. He does. Pep seems to be losing his mind. Yeah, he does. He does. And this is the thing. I think that this is going to be a very, very close game. I think this is going to be a very, very open game. I think both sides cannot defend, like I've said. I am going to go for Arsenal 2, Manchester City 3. So it'll be very, very close game. I'm going for a 3-2 win to Manchester City in this one. Guys, if you want to get involved, then obviously get your predictions in the chat, and I'll read them out as well. So yeah, I'm going for 3-2 to Man City, but be very, very interesting to see how they will do, because obviously they will be 17 points behind Liverpool before they play Arsenal. So be very, very interesting for that one. And the final game we have is the M23 Derby. Yes, M23 Derby. It is, of course, Crystal Palace against Brighton. And the last 5 between the sides... Actually, there's only been 4 meetings between the sides in the Premier League. There's been 2 wins to Brighton, 1 win to Palace, and 1 draw. And the last result was a 2-1 win to Brighton. Now, interestingly enough, draw would be nice. Yeah, it would be. It would be very, very nice, because that would keep them 16 points behind us. So, yeah, it would be. Interestingly enough, there's been 103 meetings between Brighton and Palace. There's been 38 Palace wins, 40 Brighton wins, and 25 draws. So, it's very, very close. Very, very neck and neck. And I think it's going to be a very, very close game, this one. Palace... obviously coming off the back of a 0-0 with Watford. And you know what? Watford are probably the better side in that game. They were probably the better side. So they obviously want to come back in front of their home fans and try and win this one. But unfortunately, we'll see what happens with that one. Brighton coming off the back of a 2-2 with Wolves. And they played really, really well. They were very unlucky not to... get all 3 in the end. Matt Ryan in particular was on very, very good form as well. And it's going to be a very, very interesting game for me. So, like I've said, 38 wins to Palace, 40 wins to Brighton, 25 draws. make that 26 draws. I think there will be a draw on this one. I don't really see what is going to happen. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw between Palace and Brighton. What happened to Palace? Well, to be honest with you, they're still. I think they're 10th. I think they're 10th at the moment. Actually, let me just check that. I think they're 10th at the moment. It's going to be very, very interesting to see if they can keep this up. But so let's have a wee look for the Premier League. Yeah, Palace are 10th. Palace are 10th at the moment. But it's all so tight. I mean, you know, there's loads of points separating. Like, there's only this is the thing, that Newcastle United are only 7 points from the relegation zone, and they're only 7 points from the top 4. That's how tight it is. So it's getting really interesting for sure. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens for that one. But I'm going for Palace 1, Brighton 1. So that is it. That is my match week 17 predictions. For people joining very, very late, I will go through my predictions very, very quickly as follows. I'm going for Liverpool 5, Watford 0. Burnley 1, Newcastle United 1. Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 0. Leicester City 3, Norwich 0. Sheffield United 2, Aston Villa 1. Southampton 2, West Ham United 0. Manchester United 3, Everton 1. Wolves 2, Tottenham 2. Arsenal 2, Man City 3. And Palace 1, Brighton 1. So that is it. That is us done and done for this week. So if this is the first video that you've watched, then please let me know what you think. And brilliant job, sir. Thank you very much, Liz. Thank you. So if you do like my content, then please hit that subscribe button. That'd be absolutely fantastic. I'm on 143 subscribers now, so closing in on that 150. Be nice to get to 200 probably by Christmas. Probably not going to happen, but I fully appreciate all the support that everybody gives me on this channel. And smash a like, leave a comment. That'd be absolutely fantastic. And hit that notifications bell for every upload that is put up here. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for everyone that tuned in as well. And be back for more videos. We'll hopefully do a Watford preview this weekend. Obviously I was not well enough to do a Bournemouth preview, so hopefully this week we'll do we'll do a Watford preview. So we'll see. Some great ones there. We'll be catching up with you again really soon. Job well done, Douglas. Thank you very much, Willow. Thank you. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back very, very soon with some more videos. Stay tuned, everyone, and thank you very much for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye bye for now.